hemisphere. That's why they need a big house. Welcome to Ann Arbor, home of the Michigan Wolverines. We've got a sensational matchup for you. Fans have been filing in and getting ready for this game, as we'll see a squad from the Mountain West, the New Mexico Lobos, taking on a team from the Big Ten, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. And the Wolverines have been waiting and finally the moment is coming and the opening of the season. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Lobos offense takes the field for the first time today. Here he comes, and obviously defense is always going to be aware of a quarterback, but boy, he finds a way to put defenses on their heels all the time, David.
I mean, what can't he do? He's got the weapons, he's got the confidence, he's got the experience. Jesse, these kind of guys are so hard to defend.
You're right. They better be able to find a way to get pressure on him, because if they don't, this is going to be a long day.
Trying to tackle this guy's a business decision as he gets it up to the 29. The Lobos in the hurry-up. Quarterback on the keeper. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. To the air on first down. Getting some heat. And the quarterback is snowed under. When you have the type of defensive lineman that Michigan has had over the years, you don't always have to send the house to get to the quarterback.
No, it's a beautiful thing when you're a defensive coordinator, when you got big, strong studs like this. Year after year, Michigan always has a stable full of them, of guys that are athletic enough to rush the passer, but physical enough to play the run. It's a fun spot to be in as a DC.
Quarterback wants to throw on second down. He'll loft one deep down the left side. And the tackle is made, but not before that completion gets them 30+.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Off play action on first down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Dorsey. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. You just can't hit the quarterback like that. That is a dumb play, and the defender got caught red-handed. Wants to pass. Pressure coming. And they got him. They'll get him down for the sack. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick its way to the end zone. Forges ahead for one to the 8-yard line. Third and goal coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. Lets it go to the end zone. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off.
And how about that play by the defense here early in this game opening drive, facing one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football, and they're able to get an interception. That is going to be massive for their confidence in this game.
First down here for the offense. He'll put the tight end in motion. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Found a little bit of running room, knocked down at the 24 after a pickup of 4. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. They'll run it from the gun. Good blocking, good running, pickup of 6 out to the 30. Ball sitting right at the 30. It'll be 3rd and short. They got him to jump. The defense got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a first down.
Defense.
Contact in the neutral zone leads to that penalty. Good news for the offense. The back goes in motion. Hand off from the shotgun. Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up 1 to the 35. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Now the play fake. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes.
And all defenses talk about it. Sacks, tackles for a loss, affecting the quarterback the best way you can. The first drive of the game already getting home. Nice start for this defense.
Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. That's caught. It's Morgan. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. The Wolverines will call on their punt team. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. He will not make a fair catch. Field the punt and bring it back. Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the 26. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete. Now on 2nd down. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep. They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
And the Lobos line up to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He only needs a sliver of daylight. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. Fakes his man out. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. And the Wolverines will line it up on 1st and 10. He'll ride his man on the option. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Grabbed over the middle. It's Moore. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down. Wide out in motion. Quick pass on the fly motion. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. They'll run play action. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
Well, the problem with the play-action game is that it forces the QB to hold on to the ball just a little bit longer to allow some of these plays to develop. And, of course, that gives this defense longer to get after him.
Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged in the middle, it's Moore. And they'll stop him inside the 5, but the defense is backed up in the shadow of its own goalpost. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. From the right hash, and this distance makes that angle not quite so severe. And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0. So they are lining up to kick it off after that last drive. Put a 3-spot on the board, and now the defense will try to shut them down. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And after the stop, that is going to put a bow on this first quarter. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. 1 period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. Bunch formation for these receivers. On second down, wants to throw. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on third down. They're bringing heat. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in a hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
The Lobos will try to pin them back with the punt. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. He gets it away from his own end zone. He'll call for the fair catch here. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. Generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical in this one.
Tell you what, that was a lightning-fast decision. You could tell he knew what he wanted to do right away, makes the decision, but maybe his footwork wasn't a little bit good, and the pass wasn't where he wanted to put that thing. I know that.
Quarterback tried to scramble around for a while, but the defense able to bring him down.
And come on now, O-line, you got to take care of your quarterback. He takes care of you. He's the one who takes you to meals. He's the one that gets you those NIL deals. Everything happens through your quarterback. You got to keep him upright. That is your #1 priority.
And how about this? They're going to send the kicker out there to try to put a thunderfoot into one. Is that guy's foot human? My goodness, did he hammer that ball from distance. They were able to get a field goal on the board, and now they'll kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. We will get another look at this New Mexico offense. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm. Got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here, Paul.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive. So they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
Quickly complete. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4. And the Lobos racing to the line in the hurry-up.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. The Lobos come to the line with a fresh set of downs. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole.
You know, it's so important for offenses to want to keep third downs manageable. The way you do that is by having success like that, running the football on first down.
Off the play fake. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
What a great play. Winning one-on-one, getting home and getting a sack, and that kind of effort is going to get the big house fired up. These 100,000-plus Michigan Wolverine fans are on their feet screaming because of that dominant play right there coming from their D-line.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. He's looking downfield to throw. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
Man, I think this quarterback needs to take his offensive line out for dinners more often because they're not protecting him. And sometimes it doesn't even look like they're trying. That now the 6th sack of the game for this defense.
And the Lobos will punt this one away. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. A soaring high punt with serious hang time. A fair catch called for and made. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. They've had a couple of productive drives, but they've had to settle for field goals in 2 of their 3 previous possessions, Jesse.
Yeah, this is an offense that takes a lot of pride in execution, and they feel like they should have scored a touchdown every single drive. So while it's been good, not great, David, just execute a little bit better, and they can put this one in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think you point that out. We went all the way down the field on 2 of our first 3 drives and got field goals. Now, just a little better execute.
He lost one down the sideline. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge game if he could have held on. On the option. Now the toss. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. A 3rd and long coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires into traffic, it's picked off. He'll go down right there, but what a big play to come up with that turnover.
Well, obviously it's raining here in this game, and ball's slippery. I don't know if that slipped out of the QB's hands a little bit, but it certainly wasn't an accurate throw, and as a result, it ends up in an interception.
Let's see what the Lobos offense has in store. After punting the last time they had it, they ought to be set up for a much better result with this drive.
This offense better be licking their chops. You're not going to start with better field possession than this all game did.
You ain't lying. Forget about the last possession and what we did. You're already in scoring position. Take care of that football. Make sure you get some points.
He's looking for a man on 2nd down. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
What a great play. This guy is a force on this D-line. You think about Michigan football defensively, they've got dudes up front. Aiden Hutchinson, Brandon Graham, Mozzie Smith, Rashawn Gary. Guys that can win one-on-one and guys that change and force your game plan to have to adapt for them. You need to double team these guys if you want to have any chance. This is that type of player. He's got so much ability.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And they took a shot on that one, but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete. And on 4th down, they'll try to put 3 on the board. Everything will have to be clean from 55 yards away. No good. Guys, they could have cut the deficit in half if that field goal had been good, still down by 6. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking.
And the defense is not fooled. That trick play blown up. Couldn't get the pass off, and they are fortunate the football didn't come loose. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Got it in the middle. It's Anthony. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 40. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. Ran through the tackle, and he's got room to run. That'll be enough for the first down as they stop him at the 43-yard line. Use the play fake, now to throw. He just never got started going forward. A huge loss of 8 on the play. Defense a little too jumpy there, and they got into the neutral zone too soon.
Neutral zone defense.
Defense had them backed up, and then they're in the neutral zone, and the offense will say thank you very much. They'll run it from the gun. Powers through the defender. Really nice stop there from this senior leader. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd down, going up top. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48.
3rd and long situation, we're bringing an extra DB on the field, and we're telling our front guys to pin your ears back and go get the QB, and they get the job done.
And how about this confidence in their field goal kicker? They're going to pat him on the butt and say, go give us 3, big fella. And this is some kind of belief in your kicker. They are sending him out there to try to get 3 from way downtown. As someone once said, from way downtown, bang, outside of 60 yards. After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. Let's see what the Lobos offense has dialed up this time. Not a lot of time left here in the half. Let's see if they can cut into this lead.
And this drive isn't a must score, but man, you look at the scoreboard. You're down 2 scores. Jesse, you got a good opportunity to create some momentum, cut it to a 1-score game. This is an important possession.
Yeah, it's important to create that momentum now, David, too, and not wait to get it going here at the start of the 3rd quarter. You've got 1 drive here to get a couple of points. You've got to start racing and chipping away at this deficit. This could be where the game turns right here.
From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on 3rd down. He's got his man. Good tackle there to stop him short of the first down, and now they have to make a call. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. The Lobos will punt it away on 4th down. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Take the return out of the equation in this rainy weather. Fair catch is signaled for and made. Offense set on 1st down. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Give to the back. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Unloads to the wideout. He makes the catch. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. The offense calls timeout. It's the 2nd one they've used this half. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. Caught behind the line. It's John. And there's going to be a loss on that play. Just run out of bounds and avoiding the contact.
3rd down coming up.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Setting up the screen. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be 4th down. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. This kicker's leg is getting a workout. He's already made 3 field goals, and here he comes again. Splits the uprights right down the middle. And now the lead is even bigger. So they put the field goal on the board and about to kick it away, and hoping that'll be the final points of this first half. And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. Now New Mexico will go back to work on offense. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, tough to beat the pageantry and quality of play so far today in Ann Arbor. And it's been said football is a game of inches. And guess what? Based on the comparison between third down conversion rate today and the average yard per play, how can you argue that? I mean, the low-lying fruit is to look at some of the explosive plays we've seen and panic. But really, this game is going to come down to which team is more efficient when they have the ball and how they play when it matters most. With that said, let's send it back to the fellas in the booth at Michigan Stadium.
The Wolverines will kick it away to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They go to work in the third quarter with the lead, but they have had a little trouble keeping their quarterback upright.
Yeah, and you have the lead, you're positive, but the offensive line coach is definitely going to be upset. And the offensive coordinator, listen, I don't want my guy getting touched. He's being productive, but give him some more time here in the second half.
I think you can do that, too, offensively, by maybe leaving your tight end in to help block, maybe chipping with running backs to help these tackles out on the edge, because you're right. That pocket has been shaky, and if it continues to be that way in the second half, this could be a much different-looking football.
Another incompletion on third down. And the Wolverines will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fair catch is called for. In the midst of all this rain, just concentrate on one thing, making the catch. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team's being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down. And the Lobos want to pick up the tempo. They'll run it out of the shotgun. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. Looking to push the pace with the no-huddle. Running back searching for a hole. Squeezes out a couple of yards down to the 32. And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Snap it to the back. Oh, he spun away like a vapor. And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain. The Lobos have this offense rolling. On the ground, it's Griffin. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The crowd getting behind this defense as they try to get a stop in the red zone. Out of the gun, they give to the back. And they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go. Third down, and this crowd is tearing the lid off this place. From the gun, wants to pass. Outside the pocket, lets it go. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious. Now on 4th down, here comes the field goal team. It's good. So after putting 3 on the board, the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away. He'll bring it out. It's Stewart. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reese. I think it's finding the guys that have been working for you earlier on in this game and getting them the football.
Yeah, and there's obviously no need to panic. I mean, think about it. You got the lead. You got the football. You got to be smart with the football, make your plays, put a good drive together.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. The RPO, fire complete to the left.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but the big running play moves the chains for the 1st down. The Wolverines come to the line with a new set of downs. Fast motion from the offense. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Inside the 35. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a 1st down for this offense.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. He makes the connection. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. They've got a really good drive going, but a little speed bump here at 2nd and 13. Feeling some heat.
Brings up 3rd down.
And whatever they did on 1st and 2nd down, don't do that anymore. 3rd and very long coming up. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Good run on the play, and he slides to avoid the hit. And on 4th down, they'll try to salvage the drive with a field goal. And this will be a 41-yarder coming up from the right side. It is true as he puts 3 on the board. And that lead grows even bigger. So the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away after putting up a field goal. Let's see what the defense can do. From inside the 10, here he comes. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. It's complete on the right side. Moves it out to the 34-yard line. A nice 15-yard gain on that one.
Well, it's a nice job, too, of the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
Motion trying to get the defense to show his hand. Caught in the backfield. It's Griffin. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
I want to make sure I know where the playmakers are. And I can't let guys like this guy slip out of the backfield and make big plays against me. Good job being aware that they can throw the ball to the running back, closing space and getting that fast dude on the ground.
On On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. The freshman able to get home with the sack.
The quarterbacks don't have high completion percentages from their backs. It's been really hard for this QB to get any kind of rhythm. We've got to change something up here. We've got to do something different because right now it's just a sack party.
And the Lobos send out the punt unit. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. He'll get away another punt. He's been really active today, and no doubt he's going to earn his varsity letter. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. That last drive was a long one, Jesse. They'd like this time to pay it off with a touchdown instead of a field goal.
No doubt, Reese. They had a lot of good stuff going that last drive. Need to get a tutty up on the board here to extend that lead there.
And I think you definitely want a touchdown, but if you put another long drive together, get points, multiple possessions in a row, start to let those body blows add up and wear this defense out.
Oh, what a move! Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. Fresh set of downs after the completion. Looking for space. It's Acha. Carrying the ball with an edge and hammering his way to the 40. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there, got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Encroachment penalty on the D gives the offense a free 5 yards. And the heat was all over him, and that's the way the 3rd quarter will wrap up with a big sack. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. They've done the work to build a nice cushion. Now to bring it home as we check out the stats after 3 quarters. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. Defense trying to come up with a stop on 3rd and short from the 37. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. I'm not sure this was ever a real decision. They'll go for it on 4th and inches. He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs. And the Wolverines are moving quickly down the field. They'll move the running back to try to force the defense to adjust. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
That's a good example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone, they're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions, and then the pass rush, they win up front.
Now facing some adversity on this drive after the loss of 4 at 2nd and 14. He's looking to throw. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion? This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. The Wolverines will try to pick it up on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Complete out of the backfield. He's not going to get there. Stopped short on 4th down. Line gets set, first down. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Not a lot of room, but found his way ahead for 2 out to the 26. The Lobos are in the hurry-up. Looking to pass on 2nd down. Fires to the right. Oh, did he find a hole in the defense? And they get him down at the 43, but this is the kind of explosive play you want to build on.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
dialing up a second down pass play. He'll try to do it himself. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact. And the Lobos come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll throw it on first down. Fires to the tight end. And a quick completion, an even quicker loss. The defense was right there to knock him down.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
Pocket starts to collapse. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
This poor quarterback has been running for his life. He has never been able to get his feet set, stare downfield, and try and pick this defense apart because he's constantly throwing with pressure in his face.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
When you got third and this long, everybody knows what's coming. It's going to be a pass. Defensive linemen get to tee off. They know exactly what's coming. Go get the quarterback. It is your dream. That is what you live for. It's what you practice in the offseason for. I want sacks just like that.
Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on fourth down. Coming after him. He's going to run it. Will not get there. A fourth down stop. First down for this offense. Looking to move it through the air. Makes the grab. It's Morgan. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. Wide receiver shows motion. Off the play fake on first down. Caught in the backfield, it's Moore. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
Second down coming up.
Trying play action. And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with the sack.
It is hard to continue to get up and get up and get up like he has, being sacked time after time again. But this QB, this offense, they're undeterred. They're continuing to put drives together, and most importantly, they're winning the football game.
They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on third and long from the 41. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Got it set up on the outside. Just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage. Trying to play a little field position with that high punt. Makes a move. He's brought down, but there's also a penalty marker down. Let's see what this is about.
Holding, receiver team.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. First down here for the offense. He's looking to throw it. Grabbed behind the line. It's Griffin. And he'll be run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. Not a very productive play there. On second down, he's looking downfield. Fires one high and deep. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on second down. They're staring at third. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and fourth down's coming. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And the ball is picked off. And the senior just took that one out of the air and sends it the other way.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown their last possession. You've got to be able to turn the page and see this as a brand new opportunity to go get points.
Yeah, and your defense has set you up for the position to get points right away. Now, let's get this offense back rolling again, create some momentum, just get a few first downs, and I'm in scoring position.
Got it behind the line. It's Loveland. And that was some kind of collision between a couple of big bodies there, and he stopped from getting the first down. Defense didn't maintain its discipline there, and they get into the neutral zone. It'll cost them 5 yards.
Defense.
So the offense accepts the penalty, and they'll get a little farther away from their own end zone. The option look. Nice move to pick up yardage. Making sure the fullback gets a touch there, and good pickup there, 5 or 6.
Yeah, and he's a north-south runner. You just give this guy a little crease, he puts his foot in the ground, and he gets upfield quickly, and that guy is hard to bring down.
And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible.
In other stores around the country.
On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Michigan!
Well, they were able to come out here week 1 and really feed off the energy of this home crowd. They've been making plays all over the field. You could not ask for a better start to the season.
Lining up to add another.
Kicker is on for the extra point.
And no problem on the extra point as they push the lead to 19 here in the fourth. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. Middle Tennessee is just getting blown off the field right now, and at this rate, I'm not sure this won't get worse. They're trailing by 26 to Iowa State. They'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. On second down, he'll fire. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming. That last incomplete pass has him staring at a 3rd and 3. They're going to try to throw for it on third down. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. And they wanted it all on third down, but now dealing with fourth down. No sign of the punt team as they will go for it and try to move those chains. On fourth down, they're taking to the air. They're trying to get to it. And he's sacked. A big play on fourth down to stop this drive.
And I get it. That's for pride's sake. This game's over. Like, I know you're down and you're trying to mount drives, and sometimes you can try to get young guys in the game at this point. But now you're just fighting for pride and just letting them try not to get any more points in the score.
Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Boy, they have delighted these home fans here by putting this game in a hammerlock, David.
Yeah, this crowd's been jacked up. They've been excited. Now they get to breathe a little bit, Palmer. Nice lead. This offense needs to go out and protect them.
Yeah, they've been the more physical team all game long. So let's just run the ball. Let's just ice this football game. Take the W into the locker room.
Out of the gun, the inside give. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. And the Wolverines looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Dragged down to the turf, but not before getting the first down.
At the 15-yard line. Offense is now set up in the red zone.
We waited so long to start the season, and just the way you want to start, getting that first victory.
And the first games are so much fun. You've been practicing against each other over and over all through camp. Now you get to come out, start the season off 1-0, Jesse. Great start.
It was a great start for the winning team. Now, for the losing team, obviously not the way you want to get into this season. There were some mistakes with execution, and guys are going to have to do a better job individually. But that's why you play the games. You get to now go back to the drawing board, get back on the practice field, try and iron out these wrinkles. It's a long season ahead. A lot to play for.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.